Chucksguitargeekery. XSONIC finally answered all of our prayers and came out with an Airstep for the Tonex one and full-size Tonex. So this is kind of like a Swiss Army knife tool if you have any of these. And I've done the Airstep for the Boss Katana amp, and that made a gigantic difference in the functionality of that amp. But this does multiple things here. So the main thing I like it for is you can now toggle effects on and off. So the modulation, the delay, the compressor, you can toggle all that on and off. Or you can have it in preset mode and you can cycle through banks of 4 presets at a time. That's cool. Another thing it does is it will be a rechargeable power supply for the Tonex one. So it does have an internal rechargeable battery. They say it'll last up to 3 hours on a full charge. I haven't tested that yet, but to charge it, you charge it with a standard 9-volt pedal supply. And it does come with a USB to 9-volt adapter. So if you just want to bring like a power brick with you to keep this charged, you know, to make sure you get through a gig, because last thing you want to do is have a battery die on you in the middle of a set, it does that. It also comes with an app. So I have my phone here with the app on it, and you can deep dive into editing all the presets on the go without a laptop. So that's enough talking. I'm going to go through, this is the preset I had for the solo on the trippy jam track at the beginning there. That was all done through the Tonex. And yeah, it's a capture I just did actually of this. It's not in frame, but I have a Poison Noises Knuckle Sandwich overdrive pedal going into PV Classic 30. If you join my Patreon, you will get that this week. So I'll talk about my Patreon later. Let's just get into sounds and functionality. So this is the sound I had for the solo at the beginning there. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but get some good stereo headphones in here, because you know what? These are stereo effects. You know, if that was a little over the top, let's turn the mix down a little bit. So I don't know if you noticed what I was doing there, but on the modulation block, if you hold it down, it will cycle through the effects, and then if you just turn it, it turns off. Then on the delay one, that's also the tap tempo. You have to push it down and hold it until it turns off. So block 1 is a compression here. How do I have that set up? So the compressor you can put after or before. So if you put it before, that can be kind of used as a boost pedal. So I have it in pre now. Or you can use that foot switch. The way my band gigged, the last band I was in, is we did not have a sound guy. We just set it, forget it, sound check at the beginning of it, and we had to boost our own solos if we wanted them to be heard. So if you put that in the post section, what you can do is you can use that to give you an overall volume boost for when you want to be heard over the band. So that's how I would use that. And then this one here turns the amp block on and off. So the amp block going on and off would come in handy is if you're using this with just stop box models and going to the front of a clean amp. That would let you turn the distortion on and off, or overdrive on and off. But the other thing this has is 2 expression pedals out, and I do not have an expression pedal. I'm not sure what kind of expression pedal you need, but you can have 2 of them, and hopefully the screen is recording okay, but you can have it control all sorts of things. You have 2 of them, you can have the reverb mix, you can do swell stuff, you can do volume, you can do amp gain swells, all sorts of fun stuff, so. But just a preset mode. I don't know what presets I have around. Okay, I just learned this as I was doing this video here, but if you're in preset mode, if you hold down any of the stop ones, so once again, that's compressor, that's amp, or whatever model capture you have in that one, modulation. Sorry, I didn't go through and level all these different presets, but if you push these 2 left ones, it just goes up. These 2 right ones, maybe, yeah, the middle 2, it goes down. So you can cycle through all the presets that way, but and you can adjust the cab in here, so you only have 1 slider for each of the mics if you use the VIR. So moving the microphones around makes a big difference. Let's see what that sounds like into a 1x8 champ. Greenback is my favorite, so I always go with the VIR, the Greenback 121-57 mic combination, and you play with it from there. So yeah, that's the Airstep in a nutshell. I forget if I mentioned this up front, but it will power the Tonex one with the internal rechargeable battery for up to 3 hours, they say. So that'll get, if you're just doing like one set, that'll definitely get you through that. The last band I was in, we'd play, 4 hours a night, so You need an external power supply, but you can power it with just any USB power brick. Or if you have it as part of a bigger pedal board, it'll run off the 9-volt power supply from your pedal board. So let me circle back around to my Patreon. So I have 2 different tiers of my Patreon. One tier, $3 a month, you get at least 1 capture a week, sometimes multiple captures. So this week, I talked about it up front, but the Knuckle Sandwich Overdrive into the PV Classic 30 is a capture you're going to get this week. I have a separate video coming probably next week or the week after on that pedal, so there'll be more captures, but I also have some videos coming up where I'm doing like a whole capture pack. You get all that as part of the $3 tier, and I have a heck of a back catalog of captures, all on my Patreon, $3 a month, it's all yours. I also have some for sale if you just want to buy some packs here and there. It's pretty much always a overdrive or distortion pedal going into a tube amp, and I capture that together. So that's $3 a month. $2 a month, you get the backing opening jam tracks you hear at the beginning of my videos. So if you just want something to practice with, I got trippy in the key of D, a lot of a D major 7, and I had a G minor, minor 4 in there. Something interesting and trippy to go over. Practice. Yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think. I'll have it linked below. I don't have any affiliation with it. I bought this the day they announced it and waited for it to come all the way from China. It came shipped direct from China, but it made it. So geopolitical, how that's going to work moving forward, I don't know. That's not what this video is about. So yeah, like, subscribe. See y'all later.